Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Let's get right into it. This is how I help Muslim influencers make 10K plus online. Exactly the steps that we would take you through if you would work with us. This is exactly the steps that you need to go through if you want to do it yourself, so you can give yourself the location, that time, that financial freedom that you're looking for by leveraging the online platform or the following that you might have. It can also apply to you if you have a skill set, even if you don't have an online platform, or even if you don't have any followers online. And it's also applicable if your skill set specifically is sales, right? So you can watch this video and benefit from this exact process. This is exactly what we do for ourselves. This is exactly what we do for our clients. And actually, we've had, I think, maybe at this point, 10 plus clients, and the lowest, the one who got the least amount of results over the past year and a half has made 10K, right? In the first month that we've been helping them. Everyone else has made far more in the first month. And I think the best case study would be, we've helped someone make about 1 million plus in the last year. We've been working together for about a year, and they've made 1 million plus in that time, alhamdulillah. And it's not all us, right? But this is the exact process that we go through to get these kind of results. So if you have a following online, but you're still broke, watch this. If you have a skill set and you're a Muslim and you want to learn how to use YouTube, Instagram, how to jump into the online world, watch this. And if you are specifically a sales rep with a role and you're looking to get more roles, or you're looking to leverage your skill online, watch this, inshallah. So this is a basic process, and you might hear this a lot, but I'm going to emphasize each step and make it as clear as I possibly can, so you can just do this, inshallah, right? The first thing is you need to start off with a niche. Now, you might hear niche this. I don't want to niche down because I don't want to niche down because I'm afraid of losing business. And if someone says this, whenever I hear someone say this on one of my sales calls, it means to me they clearly do not understand business. They don't understand that business is an exchange of value. You have to be giving value in solving a specific problem to a specific person for them to trust you enough to give you money for more help solving that problem, okay? An example of a niche is what I'm doing right now. Just you heard me in the beginning of this video. How to make money online as a Muslim influencer. I'm helping Muslim influencers, or I'm helping Muslim people, Muslim business owners, or people who have a skill set as a Muslim, right? And there's a reason why I'm helping this specific niche. What I'm about to walk you through, people outside of my niche can benefit from as well. But the reason why I'm helping my specific niche is because my actual program is going to be made in a way to solve your specific problems. I understand as a Muslim what your goals are. I understand as a Muslim what you can't do, the haram aspects. You can't use women in your videos. You don't want to use music. You want to do it in a halal way. So me specifically helping Muslims is going to actually make my service more valuable. It's going to resonate more with you, and you need to do the same thing for yourself. So the first thing you're starting off with is your niche. All right, I'm going to go into more detail in each one of these steps. Second thing is going to be your offer. Okay. Third thing is going to be, once we have a niche, we have an offer, it's going to be free information. This essentially is marketing. This is basically what I'm doing right now, free information. Then you're going to want to have more free. Okay. Then it's going to be application. Then it's going to be sales call. Then it's going to be fulfillment. All right. These are the basic steps that we need to go through so that we can make 10K plus online. And these are the exact steps that we take our clients through to get this result. Honestly, to get far more than this result. Last client that we've been working with, it's been a month and a half, has been able to make, I think, 60K cash collected or somewhere around there in the last month and a half. Alhamdulillah, right? Now, we help very specific types of people who have the skill sets that are needed or have the following that's needed to get these kind of results. So 60K is based off of the brother's previous experience, which is why he's able to do this so fast. But even if you're starting from scratch, if you implement these steps, there's no reason to not make within the next 3 to 6 months to not be able to make 5 to 10K online, inshallah. All right. So listen up and don't scroll away. Don't skip away. Don't watch half of this video, because that means that you don't have the attention span for the next 30 minutes to actually like fix your life, inshallah. All right. So let's start off with the first thing, which is going to be the niche. I already kind of spoke about this, right? But you might be asking yourself, how do I pick a specific niche? Who should I be helping? And there's a few different criteria that you can be, that can help with making this choice, right? One, which is very easy, is do you have any things that you enjoy, right? Hobby. If you're starting from scratch, do you have a hobby? Or do you have a skill set? For example, are you a Quran teacher? Or are you an Arabic teacher? Or another skill set could be, do you teach English? Another skill set could be, are you an engineer? Any skill set, any specialty, do you have any experience in a specific topic, right? That's the first thing you should be looking at when you're picking a niche. Second thing is, who do I enjoy helping, or who do I enjoy spending time with, right? So you look at who you like to help. Okay. Third thing to consider would be looking at your past self, right? So if you help yourself with this skill set or this hobby get out of a specific problem, then you can pick a niche, which is basically your past self. Okay. You would consider what kind of problems your past, like in all these things, you're going to be considering the actual kind of problems that come up within this skill set or within this hobby, the kind of problems that the people that you like to help have, the kind of problems that your past self had, right? And the last thing you want to ask yourself, not last thing, but last idea that I have on the top of my head, number 4 would be making sure that your niche has some kind of buying power, all right? Some kind of buying power. So let me give you an example of my own personal niche, right? Alhamdulillah, over the past 3 years, I've developed a skill set of sales, okay? I developed a skill set of sales. My hobby kind of relates this as well, which is just business. My hobby is business, so it's kind of the same thing, sales and business. I've combined my niche, right, and my hobby. Then, who do I like to help? Specifically, it's Muslims. Because my goal is to, honestly, build my family up to an empire, and my extended family, and my extended family, and my extended family is the ummah, and the other Muslims around. So I want to help Muslims specifically. That's why I know I enjoy helping, speaking to Muslims, being able to get on my camera and say Assalamu alaikum, being able to get on my sales calls and say Assalamu alaikum, and understanding that we have the tawheed and the aqidah in alignment with whoever that I'm working with, right? Then I look at my past self. So I used to actually have a workout page. So I was technically some type of influencer. So this is another way of me picking that niche. So I'm looking at my past self and the issues that I had trying to monetize my audience online, right? And then I'm specifically helping business owners or influencers that have some type of money, right? That's a niche that will have some type of money to pay for the help that I am providing. So this is literally what I did, like when I was picking my own niche. Okay. So my niche, like I said before in the beginning of this video, is Muslim business owners or Muslims that have a skill set or influencers online, right? And helping them make money leveraging the online platform, and specifically teaching them how to use sales in their business to boost the amount of money they make, inshallah, right? That's my niche right there. So what I need you to do is to do an exercise, maybe even pause this video for a few minutes and just write down the hobbies that you have, write down the type of people that you like to work with, or maybe the type of people you like to spend time with. Write down the issues or what you solve for yourself, your past self, inshallah. And then also, once you come up with a specific niche or a specific ideal customer with those 3 steps, then look at if that ideal customer has buying power. And if they don't have any buying power, or it's too niche down, then you might need to, brainstorm some more to figure out a more specific niche. But an example of this is from a Muslim influencer's perspective. Let's say, for instance, you're making workout content online, right? You're making workout content online, and your past self used to be skinny, right? And you specifically want to help other Muslims, right? And the problems you had was you had issues with self-confidence, you had issues with not knowing how to eat, right? To gain muscle, so on and so forth, right? And then you want to specifically help Muslims who are skinny, right? Who have issues with self-confidence, not know how to eat, not understand how to actually gain muscle in the gym. And you want to maybe focus specifically on dads, because the likelihood of them having money is much higher than focusing on 17 and 18-year-olds, right? Or maybe you want to focus specifically on Muslim professionals, right? So you can solve that problem for someone who would have the finances to actually pay and benefit from your expertise, inshallah. That's an example of the niche side. So once we have a specific niche, right, then we need to create an offer. Simple. An offer is going to always be based off of your niche and the problems. This is the word to look at. It's called ICP. It's an acronym. Stands for Ideal Customer Persona, which is basically your niche, and the problems that your niche has, okay? So what you need to do after we figure out who we want to help, you need to spend a day to a week doing extensive research on your ideal customer and understand the issues that they have and understand why they want to solve those problems and understand if they don't solve those problems, what's going to happen, the downside of them not solving those problems, and understand what people may have tried before. And there's a few ways to do this. You can just use Sheikh Google, you can use Sheikh YouTube, you can use Sheikh GBT. That right there is a big Sheikh, right? You can use Sheikh GBT to do research on the specific problems that your ideal customer would have. But the only way you can figure out these problems is by first understanding who you want to help. That's why we're going into niche first. And then you can ask very direct questions to Google, YouTube, GBT, so you can figure out the exact problems that your niche has. Now, the second way, and this is actually even better, is if you already have a following, right, in this niche, or you have access to communities of people who are in this niche, which you should look up, right? Or you have people around you that are within your niche, then you should actually have a survey, or you should ask them questions to get a deeper understanding of their problems, right? And the reason why we're doing this research is because we want to create an offer that's valuable, that's worth money. And the only way to create an offer that's worth money is by solving issues in people's lives that are big enough for them to pay you the money that you want to make. So if you want to just make $10 per sale, you probably can solve a very small problem, right? But if you want to make $1,000 per sale, then the problem's gonna have to be slightly bigger. If you want to make $100,000 per sale, then the issue is going to have to be very big. It's going to have to be very big for the person that you're helping, inshallah, so you can make that amount. So this is about reverse engineering. How much money, if you want to make 10K per month, then my recommendation would be create an offer that's worth 500 to 2K. And now all you need to do is make between 5 to 20 sales, and you're already at this 10K mark. So the way we do that, inshallah, is by creating an offer that specifically solves the problems of your ideal customer. And I'm going to give you guys some very, 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 very important tips when it comes to offer building and offer creation. Now, one of the most important things in any offer, especially if you're going to be providing some kind of mentorship or help or consultancy, is accountability. Is holding the person that you're helping to account when it comes to the solutions and the things they need to do to solve their problems. So the first thing you guys want to consider when building your offer is going to be, how can I hold my ICP accountable, right? And a few examples here would be, maybe you have a VA or a virtual assistant that reaches out to your customer every day, following up, making sure they're following the steps that they have to take. Even better than that would, maybe you could fly out to them in person and whip them out of their bed, take their covers off if they have to go to the gym in the morning, things like that, right? But you want to think, the best way to think about offers when you're creating them is think about the best case scenario to get your customer results. And then sometimes the best case scenario would be impossible to actually fulfill on. And then what you do is you think about the next best thing, or a creative way to get your customer that same result that the best case scenario would get them, right? So like, best case scenario for working out would be, you would be by their side every second of the day, forcing them to do the things that need to be done, not eating the food they shouldn't be eating, forcing them to actually work out when they can. That would be the best case scenario, and that would make the likelihood of them actually succeeding, 90 to 100%. Because working out is very simple, or gaining muscle is very simple. It's just calories in and then consistent overload, right? It's just making sure you're doing more push-ups than you did yesterday, and then making sure you're eating the food and the nutrition you need to actually gain the muscle, or force your body to build the muscle. So it's very simple, right? Now, that's the offer step. So we want to make sure we have some accountability. We want to also make sure that we're solving specific pains for your niche. So for example, if your niche is very busy and they don't have the time to focus on cooking, then you need to maybe make a cookbook, or you can send them actual food, right? Or you send their wife the recipes they need to make muscle, right? Or to lose fat, whatever it is, inshallah. These are all ways you can make your offer worth more, inshallah. So what you need to do is, now that you know your ICP, right? Then create an offer that specifically solves the problems that your ideal customer is going to have. Then the step after that is going to be free, right? So now you want to start putting out free information, specifically targeting this. It always goes back to the niche, specifically targeting your ICP in your videos, in your Instagram content, in your Twitter tweets, whatever it is, right? You want to start putting out free information that actually makes you feel like, when you're putting it out there, I should be charging for this. Your information should be so good and so valuable, you should be feeling some type of discontentment putting that information out for the public, right? So you start providing free information specifically on the platforms that your ideal customer is going to be spending most of their time, inshallah. Then the next step, after you start putting out free information, free content, people are going to start enjoying, because your content is actually very, very valuable, and you put time and effort into your content. Especially your free content should be very, you should think about it and make sure the things you're putting out are actually beneficial, because this is the first touch point. This is the first place that people are going to be seeing what you do, inshallah. Then from there, this is something that a lot of people don't do, but I heavily recommend, is doing something that I like to call more free, okay? More free leads me to what I like. We have actually a unique thing called a stress-free funnel, and it's basically built on this more free aspect, right? Now, more free essentially is a place that people who benefit from your top of funnel free content will be able to join for free, but join a specific place where they can get even more valuable information from you. So this can be an email list, right? This could be a community, which is what I have. So if you guys want more free stuff, look in the bio, right? Check the description, inshallah, and you'll be able to join our free community called Muslim Sales Guys Free. It could be a community, it could be an email list, it could be a WhatsApp group, it could be a Telegram, right? Whatever. It's a place where people can go and get more information for free from you. And the purpose of this is you want to essentially remove people from the social media platforms and put them in one location where all your ideal customers are living, right? And the benefit for them is they're going to get more value. The benefit for you is you're going to actually now have ownership of your audience. Because if you just rely on the Instagram or the TikTok or the YouTube, when it comes to your audience, if that gets shut down or if that gets removed or whatever it is, or that person might just get distracted, then it's very hard to influence people from your Instagram or your social media to do something, right? So what you want to do is give them more free value so now you have ownership of your audience. And then from there, you can do call to actions, CTAs, tell them if they want to get more help, they can apply to work with you here, so on and so forth, right? Then from there, we have application. So application is exactly like it sounds. Once somebody comes to your free, more free, be that email, whatever it is, then what you do is you send out an application to those that want more help solving this specific problem that your niche has, inshallah. So an application process is very simple. Listen up. What you're going to be using is something called either Typeform, or you might use something called Uform. This is actually free, I believe. This is free, I believe. Or you might use something called Google Forms, right? And essentially what you're going to be doing is having some basic questions, general questions, and then you're going to ask them questions to make sure they are actually your ideal customer and they fall into the criteria you need to actually help someone. So in this application for me, I might ask you, like, do you have a business online, or do you have a skill set, or are you currently in a sales role, or do you have a following online, right? And if you say yes, okay, so I understand they, to a certain extent, fall under my qualification. Maybe I might ask them, okay, what are the main problems that you have with working out, or what are the main problems that you're having right now when it comes to making money online? And depending on what you answer, I will know if I can actually help you. So if I can help you there, then I might say, okay, perfect. Just so you're aware, my program requires a cost so you can get help, or so we can help you get to those goals that you want to get to. Is that something you're able to invest in right now? And if you say yes, now I have an application, somebody who wants more help, and what I can do is reach out to this person who check off the boxes, inshallah, and get you on a sales call, okay? So now, after I go from niche, offer, free, putting out content, then I do more free, I bring you to my email list or my community, check out the community in the description below. Then I'm gonna have an application process. You're gonna have to fill out some basic information so I know if I can actually help you. If so, then either I would reach out to you so we can get on a call together and talk more about the actual help that you want, or I might just send you a link so you can book a call with me, inshallah. So then this is where the sales call aspect comes into play. And this is a very simple process. And I go into more detail on how to conduct sales, or how to go about sales in a halal way, where you are only helping those that you can benefit. And it's not coming off as the typical salesy, right, person who just wants to make money from every person that they speak to. I go into detail on exactly how to do that in my community, which is more free, where you're going to get so much value, you're going to have enough trust to actually work with me, inshallah. But just to break this down very simply, the process of a sales call is just to ask questions to see what problems the person has, and then to see if you can help them. That's it. You're going to get on the call and say, "Assalamu alaikum, I just want to ask you a few questions to see if I can help you, and to see what you've been what you've been doing so far to solve the problems," right? And you'll ask them a few questions there. If you can help them, you'll just showcase exactly what you can do to help them, inshallah. And then you say, how you feel about the actual process on a scale of 1 to 10. They tell you 8, 9, 10. And then you say, okay, perfect. So let's get started, inshallah. The cost is 1K. And we have card or bank transfer. Which one works best? Let me know. I can send you over the appropriate link, and then we can get started from there. That's a very basic overview when it comes to the sales call process. inshallah. Then a lot of people overlook this step, this sales call step. They think, I don't want to get on a call. I feel uncomfortable speaking about money. What they do not understand is a lot of benefits that comes from a sales call. One is you're going to be speaking directly to your ideal customer, and you will get direct information in a feedback loop to see if what you're offering here is really solving your ideal customer's problems, right? So that's going to give you feedback it's going to give you market feedback when it comes to your offer. That's extremely important. Even if you're selling a $50 product, I recommend in the beginning taking sales calls with your ideal customer, right? Then it's also going to allow you to increase trust, right? And just so you guys understand, everything you're doing here when it comes to free, more free, the application process is all a way to increase the trust people have in what you're offering in the market. But still, most people, even when they go through all of these, they're not gonna have the trust to spend 1K with you without speaking to someone to make sure this is a good decision for them. So what you're doing here on the sales call is basically giving you a way to increase the trust in your market, expedite the time it takes to increase the trust in your market, because you're speaking one-on-one directly with the individual. They can see you're a genuine person. They can see you know what you're speaking about, and then they will get a prescription to their problem from you, the doctor, right? Who understands how to actually solve their problems, and that's going to just skyrocket their trust, inshallah. That's another important thing when it comes to sales. I can't count the amount of times I see brothers, they have a niche, they have a decent offer, they have some social media presence, right? But what they're missing is the application and the sales call. What they have is just a landing page for 1K, and they wonder why they're not getting sales. This is I'm actually speaking about there was one brother I just spoke with I think a month ago. He had all this. He had a landing page, and he had 1,995 to get access to my program on a landing page, right? And he wasn't making any sales. What I told him to do, I spoke with him for 15 minutes. I said, Akhi, put an application in your bio and then get the people on a call. He came back to me the next week, and he had made 4K or 5K just from implementing that process, right? So this is extremely important, especially if you're trying to sell something that is higher ticket, which means that you're going to need the higher the price, the more trust someone's going to need before they're willing to buy, inshallah. Okay? So you're going to have a sales call there. That's the importance of the actual sales call process. Do not underestimate this. If I was to say the most important things that I'm mentioning so far, it would be niche, and it would be sales call. Because I know some people who just have a niche, they have an Instagram, and they go directly to sales call, and they're making 10K, right? So if I'm gonna highlight the most important things that I'm mentioning right now is niche, really understanding them, making sure the free stuff that you put out there is relevant to your niche's pain points, and then you get them on a sales call. Now we completed the sales call process, right? Now we just have fulfillment. Now this is important, right? But fulfillment is a lot easier than people realize. Fulfillment is just making sure that on the sales call you set the right expectations, inshallah, and then you make sure you're holding your clients accountable, which is probably like 60 to 70% of the process. Making sure you're holding them accountable to the steps they need to go through. For example, if one of you guys watching this decides to come on my consultation, which is I think $1,000 for a month and $2,000 for a 3-month consultation, then I'm going to take you through this process, but I'm going to do it in far more in depth, right? And I'm going to hold you accountable each week to make sure that you are checking off the boxes and you're actually doing what you're supposed to do to get the results. And that's going to be like 60 to 70% of what I'm going to be offering you, but it's just the value I'm able to give you by understanding your specific situation is far higher than the value that I can give you just on this call. On this video, right? But that's going to be 60 to 70% of the fulfillment. The other side of fulfillment is going to be getting the resources and things that you need together, making sure you have a structured approach so that you can solve your ICP's problems, inshallah. So there's a few things you can do when it comes to fulfillment. You have the accountability, you have the resources, so they don't have to go out and find the resources themselves. You have a specific timeline so they understand how long it should take them to get the results they're trying to get. Another thing you can have is maybe a community, right, of other people who are in this fulfillment group, so they can speak to each other and get help from each other. And maybe you have things like challenges and pre-recorded videos and information that you put in there to make sure that they are able to get the result that you're promising, inshallah. And the more complicated the result you're promising, the more you're gonna have to do on the fulfillment side. But honestly, fulfillment is not that difficult, but it is difficult to stay consistent with the accountability side. So you gotta just make sure you're staying consistent with that, inshallah, on the fulfillment. But like, ikhwa, this is all you need to do to make 10K online. I'm telling you, this is all you need to do. You don't need to go to any other video. You don't need to look at any other thing. If you go implement these steps, you can make 10K online in the next 3 to 6 months easily, inshallah, and then get that to a monthly basis. Now, there's far more nuances and things that we could go into, but what I wanted to do is make a video that was extremely simplified, because sometimes we overcomplicate the business process. We overcomplicate what needs to be done. We overthink on the next steps, so on and so forth. One big thing that I want to say is don't overthink. If I was to pick one thing that has been stopping majority of the students and people that I've been helping over the past year and a half, is they overthink when it comes to their niche. They overthink when it comes to their offer, because they're trying to build something that is perfect on the first try. And the likelihood of you building something that's perfect on the first try is 0 to none, is very unlikely. And what you're really doing, I think, is a tap from shaitan, to be honest. What's really happening is he's preventing you from the khair, and he's causing you to overthink. And oftentimes this overthinking is really you being afraid of what the market is about to tell you. It's really you having fear of what the market is about to tell you. You're afraid of putting yourself out there and seeing if people actually benefit from what you're putting out there or not. But the only way you can make your offer perfect is by putting it out there, right? By putting it out there and then getting market feedback from the sales calls or the comments from your content, right? That's the only way you can make your offer perfect. It's going to be a consistent process of making it better, going back and revisiting your niche, revisiting your ICP, revisiting your offer and changing it up slightly to make it perfect, inshallah. So what happens oftentimes, what I see people overthink this niche part and they never get started. It's 6 months down the line, they're still thinking about, should I do this, should I do this? Now, the second thing I need to highlight before we go is, after you settle on a specific niche because you weren't overthinking, because you were listening, then the main skill set that most people lack is focus. You are probably lacking focus, which is why you're failing, less than you not having the perfect niche, right? This is not the problem. The problem is you're actually not focused on the niche that you picked because you're not 100% sure, because you're overthinking. And then whenever you come across any problems in this journey, you dive back to starting a new business idea. And honestly, the grass is not greener. It's really just you, right? The grass is not greener. I know people who have made millions teaching Arabiya. I know people who have made millions teaching business. I know people who have made millions cleaning offices, actually, right? So I don't know if he made $1 million, but he's making 6 figures per year along with it. So he's been doing it for 10 plus years. So I'm assuming he made millions, but yeah. So my point here is just focus on whatever you pick, inshallah, and then go through those steps that I described. Now, what I want to do is point you in a direction. If you want more help or you want more content like this, inshallah, you can subscribe, and also check out the description below to the link for our free community where you're going to get more free. But I'm going to, like, literally what I'm showing you how to do is what we do. So you're going to get more free, inshallah, and then if you go in there and I think you're an ideal customer and I can help you, then I'm going to give you an application so we can either work together or I can even do a done for you, inshallah. And if you want, there was a previous video that I just made, which was speaking about our stress-free funnel, which is showing you how to set this up that I just described, but in a little bit more detail, and showing you specifically all the steps when it comes to the actual type form, the free community to a paid community to then upsell, things like that, inshallah. So if that's something you think you would benefit from, then check that out. We're gonna have it linked right above, bi'idhnillah. And we'll end it here. Subhanakallahumma bihamdik, ashhadu an la ilaha illa ant, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayh. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.